So I don't know who needs to hear this, but baby, I got a word for you. Listen, you ain't gonna have to do too much. You don't have to do too much. All you gotta do is be you. See, a lot of times we get so caught up in being the fixers. We get so caught up in trying to problem solve. We get so caught up in feeling like it is our obligation to figure everything out that sometimes we overextend ourselves. We overextend ourselves into the wrong people. We pouring into people that can't pour back into us. So what happens? We end up being depleted. We end up in spaces that we could have maneuvered through. We could have gotten through the space that we were at, but we didn't have enough in us to get through the space because we had given so much of ourselves. So when it came time to utilize what we needed for ourselves, we were depleted. But I came here to tell you, the guy's saying you ain't gonna have to do too much. See, a lot of times is you gotta let people be people so that you can be you. You gotta let people be people so that you can be you. There is a such thing as being an enabler. See, sometimes we be so caught up in fixing things and being the problem solvers that we become the God in other people's lives. And we wonder why we going through so much. It's because you're taking on everybody else's burden. And God says, cast your cares upon me. Cast your cares upon me. So just like you had to trust God and you had to wait on God and you had to renew your mind and you had to begin to process the things that you went through in order to overcome the traumas that you've experienced, that's the same thing these people gonna have to do. There is nothing that you can do to make them understand what they need to understand, what God is trying to reveal to them, what God needs them to do. They have to do their own work. You can't do it for them. So if you want to get further, don't do too much. Only do what you need to do for you. Put you first. See, that's the hardest thing. That is the hardest thing for humans to do. Humans, spiritual beings having a human experience. See, that's the hardest thing for us to do is to put ourselves, because we are so spiritual that we can see things that others don't see. See, you got to stop thinking everybody's like you. Everybody's not like you. Hence, everybody has different experiences. Okay? So you ain't going to have to do too much in this season. You got to sit back and be able to deal with everybody else working through what they need to work through. And while you work through what you need to work through by letting them be themselves and go through what they need to go through. You can't enable them. You can't enable them. You're not God. Okay? And you don't want that responsibility anyway. It was just time to get this wake-up call. That's all it was. I hope you got it. Because, baby, me too got to sit back and let God be God. God be God, and don't he? Yeah. He knew this message was going to come across you. But guess what? You can always count on truth, love, and transparency coming from me. Now go on with your day. Remember, you're big blessed. All right? Peace.